this is Cinema.
And this is Johannes.
And you are watching Board Gaming Ramblings.
And welcome to Ramblings of the Month for May.
In June.
Yes, you will be like, well, it's June and it's May, but it would be strange making for June this early in June, because that would make it a strange thing, which is just 2 times saying the same thing, which is sometimes I do.
Yes.
So yes, May, what happened in May? Mostly you happened in May.
What? How?
Basically, you was on the channel for most of May.
Oh yeah,
it was,
I was.
Nothing of me basically, and only you. So how was that?
I think it was fun. Actually, I was really excited going into it because I don't see how I'm going to get like my conversation flowing just talking to myself. I'm not used to that, and it was really exhausting talking just me for that amount of time. So I don't know how you do it, rambling along.
And it was a lot of fun editing it.
Yeah.
Editing out every time you were like just blanking in the middle of an explanation because you actually didn't remember what the game was about.
Yes.
You were just, this is the game about
something. Yeah.
And you just floated into eternity, and then I had to edit it out and you tried again. So
yeah. I think it went better and better.
Absolutely.
Though. Yeah. I think it was great exercise. I actually had to speak English while I was at work the other day, and I think actually these few weeks of filming just talking by myself really improved that. That
is awesome. And also I really feel like the self videos are better with only one of us.
Oh yeah, I agree.
And people seem to like them more when you are in them because I'm in everything. So probably I'm doing a few this week maybe, and one I did on Friday, and then probably you should continue doing them. I think is the best thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically that was all of May. We had a couple of other videos. We had the Polo II review, but other than that, not a lot. And really, there's no reason other than just time flew by, and we still were kind of dragged back by the quarantine, everything that happened, hadn't gotten to play a lot of new games. Now we're getting to play more games, we have more review copies, we want to do more top 10s, because the plan was to do like 2 top 10s a month. That didn't happen, and life comes in the way. We are trying to do 3 videos a week. That didn't happen the last 2 weeks. I'm sorry for that. Basically, we need to sit down and do the schedule again, because that always worked, like having a schedule for what videos should come what day. And then just do those and choose a couple of days a week to film, because it's easier to do that than to film like 1 video every day, and that is a lot easier in this room because we can actually film now. It's it's the middle of the day and we can film instead of actually having to wait till like, it's 11 in the evening, we have to film now, and I'm sleeping while we film.
Yeah, and the rules in Norway has gotten less strict.
And not board game rules, but like quarantine rules,
Yeah, so we are more able to have actually people over to play the games that we're playing. So we're really enjoying having some social interaction.
Yes. So, on to that, we played some games in May.
Yes.
So we're gonna just go through them, which is what we did in the last video, and people seem to enjoy that. Like, basically, getting a few glimpses of what we play with games that we're not gonna review, because we cannot review everything. That would be like a review every single day. So, first off, we played Imhotep the Duel.
I think that was nice. I remember liking Imhotep. It's been a long time since I played it. Really interesting. I think I just talked about it in the Every Game in the Collection video, actually. Like, not that long ago.
Yeah, I think it's in the shelf over there, so it's a while ago. But
I think it was cool. I think it was.
Yes.
You have this like tic-tac-toe grid, and you want to place your workers on those, and those corresponds to 2 boats. So 1 in the column and 1 in the row. And I don't remember when the boat like leaves.
That's an action you can take.
Oh, yeah,
like when there's at least 2 in the row or column, you can choose to take that boat, and basically you get to what's in the space that you're corresponding to.
Yeah, so I think that was a like cool thing to see. What do I want to do? How can I screw you over? And there's some bonus actions as well that you can take, so that you can like save up to doing a really powerful move. I liked it.
I really like it. Like, it's one of those that I would love to play again. It's a 2-player only game, and I feel like it changed enough from Imhotep to make it its own game, even though it has a lot of the DNA, there's a lot of the same stuff in it. But I really, really liked it.
But Imhotep is not that fun with just 2, so
No, I haven't played it with 2, I think, so, but this is a lot better, obviously. But yeah, I liked it, and I would like to play it again.
I agree.
We played another 2-player game called Shobu. This is a game I heard about for quite a long time. It's on Smirks and Laughter. I just like that. They have the Smirks. They have the company called Smirks and Daggers, which is always like Cutthroat Cavern and all of these like Cutthroat.
Cool.
And then they made Smirks and Laughter, which is like the nice game they make. Because they felt like, oh, we also like games that aren't backstabbing games, so we can't make those with Smirks and Daggers. That wouldn't make any sense. So Shobu was this really good-looking, bit abstract game that I've seen a lot of places and heard a lot about. You have 4 of these small boards with ropes between them, and you have these stones. Basically, it's just stones. They are white and black, and you have 5 stones each on each board. And every turn you gotta move something.
It's 4.
Okay, 4. Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah.
But then every turn you have to move on one board and then do the same move on another board to try like to attack someone and push the stones out of the board. And the point is to get all the stones of one player out of one board, right?
Yeah.
So I like this. We only played it once, but it's really interesting.
Yeah, at first you were horrible at explaining the game, so I just learned like half the rules. I'm just like, what? Am I trying to shove your stones out of the board? I can just do like that, and you're just like, no, you have to follow the rules. I'd be like, what rules? You haven't told me.
No, but it's the best way to learn rules is to learn them as you go.
Yes. So it seemed really like I don't know, abstract and weird in the beginning, because you hadn't actually any clue to what the consequences of your actions were.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then as we went, we were just like, oh, and I can do that, and now I'm blocked there. Oh, okay. So it was really interesting.
And that is kind of like the case I feel with a lot of the good abstract games, is that you feel like, oh yeah, okay, I can do this. I played horribly. I think I won in the end.
Yeah, you did.
But I played some really bad moves that ended up me having really few possibilities at the end. So it was kind of like a cat and mouse at the end there, but I liked it. I would like to play it again.
Yeah, I agree.
Then we played Aeons and Legacy.
Yeah, we played 2 games of that.
Yeah.
So the introduction game and 1 game more. I'm not like super into it. I actually liked Aeons, and when we played that the first time, I wasn't like in love with it.
No.
I can see this changing more and adding new exciting things, but for right now, I'm not like super hyped to play more.
No, I agree, and also the fact that there's 7 chapters, and I think in like after a while, if I understood it correctly, like if you lose some time, you will get to play the chapter again. But only 7 chapters, and the first chapter is basically a tutorial. That means there's only 6 chapters in the game, which is really few.
Yeah.
Like most Legacy games are at least 10 games, 12 games, and maybe if it's like you lose, you'll play it again. But then it's still, I saw it was like 10, 12 games, and that is okay. But like the story so far isn't really.
I think we should play it to the end and actually review it, because we really like some of the Legacy games out there, and I want to make up my mind about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we should play it more. Then we played Mandala. I'm not going to talk about that because we are doing a review
Yay!
later this week. So you'll see that probably on Friday. That's the plan at least. It will come on Friday. So you will see what we thought about the game. 2-player game then. Then we played Ankh'or. Or Ankh'or. I don't know. It's A-N-K-H apostrophe. I don't know that. What is that in English? Apostrophe.
I don't know.
Apostle. No, that's something else. and OR. It's one of the new, like in the Space Cowboys made the new reprint of Jaipur, and then they made this and one other game. So this is it's not really a 2-player game. You can play it with more, I think. I'm pretty sure you can play it with up to 4. But
we played it with 3.
No, we played with 2.
Oh, we did?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You just
agree.
remember like
I
the invisible person sitting to your left.
Yes.
So this was kind of like, it feels like kind of a mix between Jaipur and Splendor.
Yes, I agree. It had really nice components. The tiles and also the
poker chips.
chips,
like
yeah.
Super small, tiny poker chips. Kind of like in.
They were so cute.
They're kind of like in the what's it called, the Majesty. Majesty.
Yeah, Majesty.
Kind of like the same ones there.
And it was nice. I felt like it was a really cool puzzle with trying to get the right color next to each other, but also trying to match the symbols. And trying to get some like bonus points here and there and some bonus actions. It was neat. I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, you're basically taking these different resources like you do in Splendor, these tiles, and then you use them to buy different tiles that you place in the way that you say, like trying to place them in a good way. And one thing I really like here is that the prices for the tiles will be different every time you play.
Yeah, that was
so that
cool.
they will basically randomize it, so you can't really plan according to that. So I enjoyed it. I think I'd rather play Imhotep, Duel, and Shobu from this list, like maybe Mandala, you will know soon, before this, but it was a decent game, and I'm happy to have tried it.
I'm unsure how great it will be with more than 2 players, because you kind of see it's a queue with these tiles, and in this queue it's corresponding with the different prices. And when I'm grabbing my poker chips, I'm kind of planning for what I'm going to buy.
Yes.
And when we're playing with more than 2 players, I imagine that the queue can change up really fast, and then I'm ending up with something that I really don't want.
That is correct.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't tried it.
And probably never will. No. We played Marco Polo 2 quite a few times, but you have seen the review, and if you haven't, click it.
Yes.
It's there. You can watch the Marco Polo 2 review. Then we played The Crew. This is one I might want to review.
Yes, I want to play it more at least.
So maybe we shouldn't talk too much about it, because it's one of those games that has been like a small card game that was kind of hyped early this year, so maybe we should do a review of that.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's so far, it's neat.
Next up, we almost finished our campaign for Clank Legacy. We only have 1 game left, which we are planning to play today, so that's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's super fun. I really fell in love with this game. I just enjoy it so much, all from the story and the writing to just a more fun version of Clank.
Yeah, I never loved Clank. I think we got rid of it now. I do not remember. I think we did.
I think so.
I liked Clank, but I was never like in love with it, as a lot of people were. But if you put Legacy on thing, I will be like, ooh, I need this. We even had Marchikoro Legacy, so which is horrible. Don't buy it. But yeah, Clank Legacy is really great. It's a comedy game basically, written by Penny Arcade, with great writing and funny. Can't really say a lot about it.
No.
But the gameplay is good.
I think it's really cool that it's not just the regular rush to the first artifact you can find. There's some more stuff there, so I think that's super cool.
Absolutely. Love it. Then we have Yellow and Yangtze. This is a Ronic Knizia game, an abstract game. We haven't played a game that it's based on, Tigris and Euphrates. Never played that, and so we cannot compare them. But we only played it once, a 3-player game. So what did you think?
Yeah, I won. So obviously, I think I'm.
You mean you obviously won. That's kind of I'm fixing that sentence for you.
So I actually liked it quite a lot.
Yes.
I think it was super interesting. Actually, I really saw some I don't know, not deep strategy, but some cool tactical decisions that you had to take and try to stop your opponent's plans, but also getting enough, you're trying to help me here. You're trying to
get points, and it's one of those kind of typical Ronic Knizia games where you get points in different colors in this one, and at the end of the game, the points you have are the color you have the least points of. So you have to do different kind of things, and you are basically placing tiles of different types, like workers, soldiers, traders, and all these kind of different ones, trying to have influence in them because you have the leaders. You try to, if you merge 2 of these areas, then there will be a battle, and the leaders of the opposing that lose will go off because there can only be 1 leader of each color, and you're trying to score points that way, and kind of it's an area majority or area control, not majority, area control game. And I really liked it. And it had one of those, which we just talked about with Shobu. It has about like a lot of these abstract games have, or a lot of games have, where you like halfway through the game, like, I can do that with that rule. So if I do this, then it changes up the whole board. And I really liked it, and I would like to play it again. And it's kind of mean. But
I didn't think I would like it because it sounded so mean, but I don't know. It depends on the players, I think, how the players are playing, but I think it's when it's this abstract, I didn't take it as personal.
No, it makes sense, and also it's like the core of the game. So if you don't have that, you don't have a game.
Yes.
So it's basically it is the game, and as I've talked about before, it bothered me less with conflict when it is the game.
Yeah,
like in a Eurogamer, I say, I steal one of your stones. That irritates me, but this is a conflict game, and then it doesn't bother me too much.
Yes, and you can go from having a lot of points coming in every turn to like suddenly have nothing. So you have to start kind of from scratch, but that happens to everyone. I think it goes like up and down how
Except
much you.
But yeah.
So I think it was quite cool actually.
And then we played a game that I like and you don't like too much called Town Center.
Oh my god.
We played this.
You played and we were scrambling by. Yeah.
We played a 3-player game. It was really. It was kind of the strangest game I've ever played of Town Center. Which is this 3D block building game from Shipyard. Like a filler game, takes about an hour to play, depending on how fast you play. I played it in 20 minutes. I played it in an hour. I really adore this game. It's a drafting game where you draft tiles and then you place them on this really restricted map, and you try to place them. You have like restrictions on where you can place. You want to build elevators, you can build you can build upwards, and you can try to place tiles or cubes adjacent to each other so that they will grow organically, so that your in your residential units, your residential where people live, that will be bigger because they have a lot of offices to work in, and then if that grows, then your commerce will grow, so that you will get more income into your city or your town center, or that is what you're trying to do. But you and Martin couldn't do that, and I did it.
I don't know what happened. Oh, okay, I knew something that happened.
Yeah,
we were a little like in loss of some kind of buildings.
Yeah, but also like we did talk about it, and
really poorly timing.
Yeah, and you both had some troubles basically getting. I got a lot of commerce, and got started and got a lot of things building by itself, because
I was basically in the first floor, getting a lot of electricity
for half the game basically.
Yes,
yeah,
it was horrible.
But there is things you could have done differently that we talked about.
We talked about it.
But I'm this is one of the games I am actually usually better at.
Yeah, I'm horrible at this. But I kind of knew that going into it. But I still became a really sore loser because you had this amazing capital city that just looked so good and was so efficient and had a lot of money, and I was just like, 1 coin.
Yeah.
Yay. So
I got a new record in this
Iron
game.
Morton
So that was
were
fun.
just like doing horribly wrong.
I had fun.
Or poorly, yes.
It's more fun to have an actual competition. But yeah, I basically played solo with real life bots. So that was fun.
Like the lowest level.
I'm playing against the AI on like tutorial mode.
Yes, it seems like that.
Then we played another game that we got from Kickstarter called Belfort, which is kind of like one of the not first, but one of like the older TMG games, and now they had like a reprint with the expansion and a new expansion. And we played just the base game, 4 players. We heard so much good things about the game, and nah.
Yeah, I'm not blown away by the basic version.
No.
I want to play it again, bringing more of the stuff into it. Maybe it's more interesting then, but it was... no.
I liked it, but it was too long for what it was. So maybe with 3 players it would be better, and I'm hoping that the expansion makes it more interesting with like player powers and more stuff going on. Because it was just a bit too much, like you said, like it was basically... Like a lot of games are, but this felt very much like you go there, get some resources, then you use those resources on a building, and rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
So I hope that the expansion adds some more. I'm not going to be like never going to play it again because I enjoyed what it was. I just wanted to be a bit more.
Yeah, I agree.
Then we played an old classical game, which is called...
Keyflower.
Keyflower, which is a great game, even though I had the most horrible time playing it. It was basically, I used up all my being good at games at Town Center. And then we played Keyflower, and I had a couple of horrible rounds, ending up having no workers. Did you know how many workers I ended up in winter?
Oh, no.
I had 4 workers behind my screen.
That's not a lot.
And that you basically have lost. Like, there was nothing I could do, because I ended up not getting any tiles in the first round. Basically, you auction for tiles, and you get them into your tableau. and then other players can use your tiles. So basically, I ended up getting no tiles in the first.
What did you use for your workers for?
I did a couple of mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, because I ended up having had like 3 or 4 yellow I couldn't use for anything.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because I did a mistake in bidding with another color, so that I couldn't use the yellow because everything was bid for.
Oh, yeah.
And there was no yellow outside, so none of you had yellow. And I ended up not getting, using half of my workers in the first round.
And that is hard because it's really difficult catching up. Because when you don't have many tiles in your home city, then you won't get that many visitors. Then you can convert into your own guys. You can take the meeples that visit you and use again. So you kind of fell behind.
Yeah, and also because I didn't have tiles to use myself, so I had to use your tiles, and I'll lose even more of my workers. So
that is hard.
That was really hard. I did a couple of mistakes, so it wasn't that, but it was the worst time I had playing that game. But it was still fun playing Keyflower.
It's a great game. We had it for a long time, so it was really fun playing it again.
It was. Then we played one of the games I just heard like a couple of people saying this was neat. And we got it. It's from a Taiwan board game design group, and it is Electropolis.
Yeah, explain it so I can remember it.
You don't remember?
Yeah, I remember that. I thought it was good.
It was really nice. It's kind of like it's a very small, tiny, small city building game. I did that on purpose. It's a city building game where you try to build different buildings adjacent to each other. You also need different resources to power them at the end of the game. So it's kind of like a feeling between a quadropolis and power grid, basically. But it has this really interesting drafting mechanism. At the start of each round, you put a different amount of tiles around in a circle, depending on the number of players. And then you draw, you say like, I'm going to take 5 tiles this round. And then maybe you say you're going to take 4, like it's on you place your disc basically on one of these spaces. And I say maybe I'm going to take 6. And the player who takes the fewest tiles get to take them first. But the other thing that's really restrictive is that you have to take tiles that are adjacent to each other. So if you end up like, if somebody goes for 6 and then you go 5 and 4, then there won't be a lot of choices for 6. And you might end up, and also when you draft, which is like the other really interesting thing, like it's a very small board, but you get restricted to where you can place because you have to choose a card. And that card might give you a special bonus or a scoring opportunity or just some tiny little action. It also tells you where on your board you can place all the tiles. So if you end up like, oh, I got 6 tiles, but I also got this card last, which I have 4 spaces only here, so I will lose a lot of points if you can't place them. And you also get pollution for when you place them out and you try to get positivity. I don't remember what it was called.
Popularity?
Reputation, I think. Yeah, reputation. So somehow in this abstract game, like the more reputation you have, they don't care about the pollution. They can go like, you can't breathe, but you have a good reputation, so it's okay. So you're trying to balance all of this and also get the resources to power all these different plants, and you score at the end of the game for different different things. I like this game a lot.
Yeah, I really liked it too, and it surprised me because it was like it felt kind of. I'm trying to find the right words. It felt kind of like a combination that you're trying to like solve. So you kind of wanted if you had the coal factories, then you needed the coal resources, and you also needed preferably to have some deposit that would reduce your pollution, and you were trying to then build those in the same area, but not then get restricted. So and when you pick those tiles in the circle, if I take 4 of those, then the combination that you have to take seems different. Yeah. And I just really liked it.
I felt like it did a lot of things in a great way. It was an hour-long game with 3 players. It is unique. It's different. It does the drafting in a way I've never seen before, both with the having to take adjacent tiles and the card that restricts where you want to place. It is basically like a great blend of Quadropolis and Power Grid, which is a great games. This is one I think you should check out. Like this is one of the this was great.
This was one of the positive surprises we've had lately.
Yeah. This is one of those like, why didn't we play this before? Like this was a great game, just been on the shelf for a long time because nobody's talking about it, and we've been so many games to play. So, but this one you should check it out if you haven't played it already, which you probably haven't because it's not a game many people have heard about. Then we played Merchants of Muziris, which is from the John Cloudus culture collection that Colossal Games did on Kickstarter. I've only played this one so far, not played the other two. What did you think about this?
I liked it. It seemed like it takes inspirations from a lot of games. You kind of have these persons that are actions, and you're placing your tile on one of those, and you can either collect fruit or what do you call it, ingredients?
Yeah, different produce.
Yes. Or you can use the ability on some ingredients to do something else, or you can deliver 1 or 2 or 3 of the same ingredients to score some points.
Yes.
And I think it was cool, and it seems like it has a lot of variability because you can change out the different actions you can take.
There's basically like 3 actions that's always in a game, and then there's one, like if you're 2 players, there's 1 more. If you're 3 players, there's 2 more. And then you have like a end of game condition, which is also changed out. And it's a really quick game, like 20 minutes game. 3 players, 20-30 minutes, and a lot of gameplay. It's a bit random because you draw cards from a deck and you fill up, and you can be like, oh, just before your turn, you come a great card that you needed. But you just need to. It's a 20-minute game. It's a filler, but it's very good. It's also like I've heard the other 2 games are good as well. I haven't played those, but this was very, very good.
I agree.
And then we only have a few left. This is a long video. We only have a few left. Then we played one of Sunniva's favorite style of games, 18 Chesapeake.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of 18XX games in whole, and 18 Chesapeake is no exception. I started the game off with having nothing to do because my company didn't get to float because you guys were douchebags. No, I'm just kidding. But a little. So it wasn't that fun, but I knew that going into it that this isn't my favorite genre, but what did you think that actually care about these games?
Okay, so I played now the last I played was 1824, and then we played this 18 Chesapeake. I like 18XX games. I think they're fun, but I do not think that we as a group place them correctly.
No.
I do not think that and I'm not saying that there's a correct way to play, but basically I don't think we're getting out of them what we're supposed to get out of them, because we are coming to a place with these games like 18CC is it's CC, it's C and a C. It's the one that I have enjoyed the most, and I don't remember why. It's been a long while since I played it, but it's getting to a place where I feel like they're kind of samey, and that is telling me that I do not understand the different nuances, and that maybe I'm pretty sure we aren't playing them brutal enough. I'm pretty sure we're not good at going, and like in the end here we started doing stuff.
Yes.
At the end here we started to I'm selling all of these shares in your company and dumping it all the way down here, and then I'm buying into this new company I'm starting because I see I can do this and get this super train. And I think that if you had started doing those kind of things in the beginning, if you understand that, I think the game, even for you, would be a lot more interesting.
Yeah.
Because I feel like one of the things you don't like, I'm just guessing, is the thing that I end up not liking as well, is that it feels very samey for a long time. Is that you're just doing you're building one track, then you're riding the train maybe in a better way. We're not blocking each other enough. We're not doing these kind of things because I read that most people that play a lot of 18XX, when I played 18 Chesapeake, it ended with bankruptcy. We weren't close to that at all. Like I almost went there one time, but I managed to climb my way back up and end up at 2nd place. But I think that this is an 18XX discussion, so we're not going to go into like a deep thing on that. But
we should have a video about that. Because that would actually be really interesting.
I would love to play 18XX with somebody who's playing a lot of 18XX.
Yeah, because we're not playing it enough, so we can't have that steady learning curve. Because I'm not interested in getting that good at this game.
Not me either.
Because I don't know, I don't like that much take that. I don't think the concept is like interesting enough to me that I'm motivated to get to know them.
That, yeah.
But I see why people really like this because I can kind of scratch the surface and see, down there somewhere it's depth and strategy and like a lot to explore.
Yeah.
But I'm just like I'm not there at all.
No, and I feel like I would like it a lot more if we understood more and saw more of the nuances.
Yes.
So maybe I should sit down and read some strategy, read some stuff, and see what we can find out.
Play it with someone else than me.
Yeah, that as well, and that's fine. That's okay. It's like one of the few things that we don't enjoy together. Then we played. It's only 2 games left, so if you're still here, only 2 games to go. Yes. Then we played a game that we've been wanting to play for a long time, and we got a copy. It's called Shipyard from Vladimir Suchi.
Yes, I don't remember anything about this game. No, I'm not kidding.
We just played it like a week ago.
Yeah, because
It's the one where you build ships and you place your captain.
Oh yeah, now I remember it. It was neat. I like the rondel system. It's a lot of rondels.
Yes.
And it's kinda the action selection is kinda I kinda in my head compare it to Glenmore.
To Glen Drover. You compare the action selection to Glen Drover.
I thought like the original was Glen and then the second one was Glen. Okay, so
let's play Glen today, and then Glenmore tomorrow.
So it's not the race for the tiles that it is in Glenmore, but you kind of have to. It's a queue of actions that like rotate. And you can't take the action that has just been taken by you or someone else.
You can. It's only the one that you. Oh yeah, if someone else is on it, you cannot take it. Yeah.
And then you don't have a lot of options, and you don't want to be in front because then you don't get any money, and the other guys can get money, and you kind of want to build your ship the best possible way to score the points on the lake that you have created yourself and have the right crew, but also you have some end of game scorings that you have 3 in the start and then you eliminate, so you only
6.
have
so you have 3 of each.
Yeah, 3 of each, and you have 1 of each left at the end of the game, and you have to score them. So I think it was cool with all the rondels and stuff. I'm not in love with it, but it's fine. It's a fine game.
I would like to play it again. I wasn't blown away, but I think like it's one of those because it's kind of a kind of like a you do what you want game. Like it's a very open game. So I think like the next time I will like it more because I have more going into it, understanding where I want to end up.
Yes.
But I liked it, not loved it. Like maybe if I should rate it now, maybe like a 7.5. It was more than it was better than like a pile of games, but it's not amazing.
It's better than a pile of games.
Yes, it's not a game on a pile of games, but it's a bit higher. Next up, we played another game we had for a long time coming from Kickstarter, Key Market, 2nd edition.
Yes.
Great. So what do you know about this game?
Oh, I'm trying to remember because I've talked about so many games today.
We have. This has been a long one. Key Market is the game from the Key series. It's not made by Richard Breeze. This is not saying to help you because it's not helping you at all.
No, it's not helping at all.
It is the game where you are placing your workers out on this small grid. You have these different... you have the market values for all different... not ingredients, but all different things. Apples, fish,
was that
sheep.
the one with all the guilds?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I remember it now.
It's a very neat game. I liked it quite a bit. It's not as good as Keyflower or some of those, but it's what's different.
It's very different.
It's very, very different. And this felt different than a lot of games I've played.
Yes.
You have this very small map where you place your workers and you can move your workers around, but it's very like restricted where you can move them, not adjacent to yourself and not adjacent to or in an area where somebody else is. And then you have these guilds with special abilities. They're like you're using 6 of them in a 3-player game. I think they're like 16 in the 2nd edition.
A lot of variability.
And I heard that that's one of like the biggest changes from the 1st edition is that they have balanced and worked out a lot of these skills.
Oh, that is good.
Because there was kind of obviously better ones in the 1st edition.
Yeah.
So those are kind of like what makes this change. You're trying to, basically, it's very basic. You're trying to produce a lot of goods. Then you try to sell the goods and you
for
try
the highest price possible before the market starts
plummets down. Yeah, and you try to upgrade in those skills to get different points and special abilities. You're trying to build a better farming house for yourself, retire your workers, and do all of this. Like it's pretty basic, but what makes it interesting is the different guilds, basically.
Yeah, I think it has a lot of positive things going for it and combined in a fun way. So I think like the way you get your resources is kind of basic, but it works. And the kind of blind deciding what to sell to the market, and you have to
Yes.
sell everything that you
That is correct,
decide.
yeah.
And then if we show and all of us are going to sell sheep this turn, okay, then I have to do that fast, or I'm lost. So
One coin per sheep. Whoop,
I
whoop.
need to do something else. Or you can use one of your like special actions in that what do you call it, that phase,
Yeah.
to buy sheep first, so you can sell it more like for more value later.
Yeah, if not everyone else wants to sell it, because
Yes.
it's just a bad action.
Yep.
And I also, like you said, like the producing is pretty basic, but I really like the movement and the area control aspect of the map, because it's so small and it is placed in a way that, like, when you place it, like the different players place one on these boards at the beginning, and you can, if you end up making like a big area of cabbages, for example, then nobody else, if I'm there going there in the beginning, nobody else can be there as long as as long as I'm there. So it might be harder to get that because I started up in a way. And I think that's kind of like very interesting, that area control aspect of the map.
Yeah,
I really
I agree.
like that.
And what makes it even cooler is that the resources that you collect have you how much you collect of each resource is changing throughout the game. So it's not areas that are obviously better and obviously worse. So you kind of have to move around and trying to get the best position at all times. I enjoy it a lot.
I would like to play this one again.
I agree.
And that is the end.
Yes.
Whew.
We played a lot of games.
We did. If you're still here
Great job, you.
and you haven't subscribed, do it now, because
Yeah,
it's crazy to watch a 30-minute video or more and haven't subscribed. So
Yeah, then you obviously
do it now,
must
because
like us.
you like us a lot. So that is the end of the video.
Yes.
Thank you so much for watching. I'm Johannes.
I'm Cinema.
And you've been watching Board Gaming Ramblings, and bye-bye.